viewers, and welcome to another wonderful episode of Government and Public Service Reports on your favorite Atlantic television network. Here we bring you news, events, and stories abound in the state system. ATN's appetite for in-depth, unbiased, and factual reportage is the driving principle for this program in order to bring government activities to the doorstep of the people. We'll go through the highlights of today's reports and headlines. Lagos State Guards gets 2-year jail term. Police foil kidnap attempts, rescue 8. Labor unions request direct salary payment. Nigerian Custom hands over cannabis to NDLEA. We'll take a short break and we'll return. We'll go straight into the details of the stories. Stay with us.
The people of Maiduguri need your help. A catastrophic flood has engulfed the city, leaving over 1 million residents stranded and fighting for survival. Entire communities are submerged, with people trapped inside homes and on rooftops cut off from food, clean drinking water, and essential supplies. Health experts are warning of a potential outbreak of deadly diseases, and medical facilities are out of commission. The situation is dire. Helicopters, boats, and high-riding trucks capable of navigating the treacherous, waterlogged areas are urgently required to reach the countless men, women, and children still awaiting rescue. The Nigerian media is issuing a desperate plea to the government, humanitarian organizations, international actors, and citizens across the nation. Step in now, before it's too late. For more information on how you can help, contact Professor Usman A. Tar, the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Internal Security, Borno State, on 0809-233-3955. Every second counts.
This is powered by Atlantic Television Network.
Welcome back. Now to the news in details. The Nigerian Navy said its troops of Operation Delta Sanity have discovered and deactivated an illegal refining site with 1 cooking tank, 1 storage tank, and 1 dog pit laden with unspecified amount of stolen crude oil in Bolu General Area, River State. Nigerian Navy stated this in a statement on its social media page. The Navy authorities said it had taken into custody the suspected crude oil thieves until investigations were completed. In a different story, Nigerian police force says it is not ready to engage in a media tussle with the governor of River State over the political crisis in the state. On Friday, police operatives barricaded the River State Independent Electoral Commission in Port Harcourt, the state's capital, ahead of the conduct of the LGA polls on October 5th. MPF also said it will not provide security for the polls. Fubara, who had stormed the facility, said the presence of the police officers at the RESEC premises was unnecessary. The governor further accused Kayode Egbetukun, the Inspector General of Police, of taking orders from the previous governor of River State, Yesom Ezenwonwike, to truncate the local government elections in the state. Fubara said the RESEC facility was his property while daring the IGP to shoot him. Reacting, the police faulted the allegations by the governor and said they were only conforming with the court order barring the police from participating in the local government elections. In a statement on Monday, Muyiwa Adejobi, the police spokesperson, debunked the prevailing falsehood of partisanship circulating in the media. Adejobi also reaffirmed the police neutrality and non-interference in political affairs within the state and the country at large. He noted that the misinformation triggered by the unwarranted outburst of Fubara was totally uncalled for and unfair to the law enforcement institutions in Nigeria. He said, the IGP is very well respected in the Association of Chiefs of Police worldwide, particularly in Africa, where he is currently serving as the chairman of the West African Police Chiefs Committee and providing meritorious leadership within the West African Chiefs of Police. Similarly, suffice to say that local government elections were generally peaceful nationwide, especially in states where the police were in charge of security. Explosions and protests rocked some local government areas of Rivers State after newly elected council chairmen were sworn in by the governor. The latest is linked to Monday's order by the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, for the Secretariat of the 23 local governments to be sealed and the immediate withdrawal of policemen who had occupied the council since July. Already, the Secretariat of the LMA local government area in the state is on fire as buildings and vehicles were set ablaze following an explosion from a device suspected to be a dynamite. In Ogba, Egbema and Doni local government area, protesters invaded the council headquarters in Omoko, not allowing the newly sworn-in chairman to resume office. ATN also gathered that Ikori and Obiokpo local government area of Emoho local government areas are also set ablaze by hoodlums. Elsewhere, one person has been feared dead following a shooting in Bori in Kana local government area of River State on Monday. A source who pleaded anonymity told our reporter that the gunshot was heard near Bori, saying people started running in different directions. The rancor came as protests spread to some local governments where some youth took over the council headquarters in Emoha and Ikore local government areas. It was gathered that the situation prevented the newly sworn-in chairman of Ikore from going in to inaugurate his councillors. When contacted, the spokesperson for the State Police Command, SP Grace Rekoko, promised to get back to our correspondent. Analysts have opined that not even the courts can stop state governors of their constitutional control on local governments. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network program Open Conversation, a political resolution analyst, Ndamzi Ekulo, believes that Governor Siminalayi Fubara is within his constitutional rights to determine how and when the local government elections are run.
The Constitution in Section 7 guarantees a democratically elected local government system, and it went ahead in Section 8 to give powers of control, financing, administration and all that to the states. That is to say, the states determine what happens in the local government, time for election, who gets sworn at the various LGAs. And it is simply a power guaranteed by the Constitution for the governor. So nobody can strip the governors, not even the courts, can strip the governors of any state the powers as enshrined in Section 8 of the Constitution.
Speaking on the aftermath of the elections, Ekulo maintained that the governor is performing his constitutional rights by swearing in the newly elected local government chairman.
It is the decision of the governor. It is in his opinion on when to swear them in, and I think he has done that. Let us be patient and watch what happens in Superior Court.
Move on to Akwa Ibom State, where Governor Umo Eno has sworn in the newly elected chairman and vice chairman for the 31 local government areas of the state, with a charge for them to make the people's welfare a priority. 30 of the new chairmen were elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, while one of the elected on the platform of the All Progressives Congress was elected. Again, while 5 of the new local government chairmen were women, 26 vice chairmanship slots were occupied by women. The new chairman will take charge of the affairs of the local government areas for the next 3 years. Governor Eno thanked the leadership of the Akwa Ibom State Independent Electoral Commission for their commitment to the conduct of the free and fair election. The governor also reminded the new chairman of their coming into grassroots governance at a time of dwindling economic fortunes. He further said that it placed a burden on them to turn the situation around for the benefit of the people of the state. He charged them to ensure peace, unity at the grassroots by making the people's welfare a priority in line with the Arise agenda of his administration. The new chairman will be in turn sworn in elected ward councillors in all 31 local government areas of the state. In Abuja, a federal high court has shifted the alleged money laundering charge filed by the EFCC against former Anambra Governor Willie Obiano to November 13th for the continuation of trial. The matter, which is before Justice Inyang Eko, could not proceed because the court did not sit. The governor was said to be attending a seminar at the National Judicial Institute in Abuja. Justice Eko had on July 26 fixed today for the continuation of trial after the anti-graft lawyers agency, Silvanus Taher, led 2 witnesses in evidence in the trial of the ex-governor. A former commercial bank staff, Mr. Ugochukwu Otubelu, revealed how he managed to manage the security vote account under Willie Obiano's government. Otubelu, the third prosecution witness, said though he was with the bank between November 2nd, 2008 and March 2023, 2023, he is now a businessman. He said that the signatories to the security vote account were the former principal secretary to the ex-governor, Willie Mokoye Philos Mweze. After giving his testimony and being cross-examined by Obiano's lawyers, Onyechi Ikbazu, Justice Eko discharged him from the witness box and fixed October 7th, 8th, 9th, and October 10th for the continuation of trial. A socio-political analyst, Barrister Ndamzi Ekolo, has stated that anything tagged local government and state government joint accounts is unlawful. On Atlantic Television Network program, Open Conversation, Ekolo believes that the July 11, 2024 Supreme Court judgment makes it unlawful for any state governor or House of Assembly member to raise a bill to be passed into law of the government and state government joint expenditure accounts.
Considering the July 11, 2024 judgment of the Supreme Court, any state governor or House of Assembly who intends to form or to raise a bill for the making of a law tagged local government and states joint account, that act remains
between the local government and state governments can be reached on how best to split the cost of the project, as long as there is no plan of merging the expenditure accounts. The analyst also advised the Anambra State Governor Charles Soludo to educate his people about the bill and what it intends to achieve.
To say, okay, on UBE, you fund 50% and we are funding so amount. A state, you can come in on so percentage, but anything that has to do with joint account in respect to funding of the LGA or funds regarding the LGA, it's unlawful. So I think the Anambra State Governor Governor Charles Soludo should take his time to educate Anambarians on the title and heading of this bill, and also what the bill intends to achieve when it becomes law.
This comes at the heels of the federal lawmakers elected on the All Progressives Grand Alliance platform, which have commended Anambra State Governor Professor Charles Soludo for his commitment to the financial aid and administration of autonomy to local government councils. Federal Aviation Authority has spoken on misconduct of its cargo agents at the airport in Lagos. The authority reminded cargo agents and the public that cargo operations must be carried out in designated areas using appropriate vehicles and personnel. He also said that having to pay the required levies was essential. He said, "Our cargo policies are designed to ensure adherence to international best practices, prevent damage to airport facilities, and prioritize customer service and safety." FAAN highlighted the penalties for non-compliance, stating, "We impose a fine of 5,000 naira for non-compliant cargoes for reasons such as failure to utilize designated cargo terminals and damage to carousels for improper cargo handling." The authority reassured the public of its commitment to guiding airport users. It said, "We urge all cargo agents and members of the public to note that cargo operations should be restricted to designated cargo areas, utilizing proper vehicles, personnel, and pay the levies. Our cargo policies are designed to ensure adherence to international best practices and to prevent the damage to airport facilities and to increase customer service and safety." FAN remains committed to providing clear guidance to policies and procedures. We advise the public to adhere to these rules, guiding the airport operations to avoid similar incidents in the future. By working together, we can ensure a safe and efficient airport experience for all users. A Lagos State Magistrate Court sitting in Yaba has sentenced 2 security guards to 2 years imprisonment, each for stealing properties belonging to Ivory Exclusive Hotel in Bagada. The convicts, Wilfred John, a 32-year-old, and Tunde Atatero, another 32-year-old, were arraigned before Magistrate A.O. Salawu on an 18 count of stealing on May 16, 2024. The defendants pleaded guilty to 12 out of the 18 counts which were charged to them. Magistrate Salawu gave a 2-year jail term each rather than sentencing each count individually because the convicts saved the time of the court. According to the prosecutor, Godwin Oriabure, the convicts committed the offense on February 28, 2024 at Ivory Exclusive Hotel, Bagada. Oriabure also added that the offense contravened and is punishable under the Section 411 of the Criminal Law of Lagos, 2015. One of the counts read that you, Wilfred John, a male, and Tunde Atatero, a male, and others at large on the 28th day of February 2024 at Ivory Exclusive Hotel Ifako, Bagada, Lagos State in the Yaba Magisterial District, did conspire amongst yourselves to commit felony, to wit stealing, and thereby committed an offense contrary to and punishable under Section 411 of the Criminal Law of Lagos in 2015. Another count reads that you, Wilfred, and Atero, both male, and others at large in the same date, time, and place in the above aforementioned magisterial district, did steal 4 pieces of Media 1 HP air conditioner valued at 1.9 million naira, property of Ivory Exclusive Hotel, Bagada, and hereby committed an offense contrary to Section 287, subsection 7 of the Criminal Law of Lagos, as amended in 2015. Katsina State Police Command has thwarted 3 separate kidnapping attempts by suspected armed bandits in Dan Musa and Faskari development area, rescuing 8 victims unharmed. The Police Public Relations Officer ASP Abubakar Sadiq, in a statement on Monday, revealed that the incidents occurred on October 7, 2024. The statement said, at about 11 a.m., armed bandits intercepted 2 women on the outskirts of Matarao village in Dan Musa local government area, attempting to abduct them. Similarly, on the same day, distress calls were received at Faskari Divisional Police Headquarters at about 10:30 a.m. Armed bandits blocked Marabu, Bangori, Ongua Boka along the Funtao-Gusau Road and kidnapped 4 persons. Sadiq further disclosed that later in the day, at about 2:30, another group of bandits blocked the same road at the junction along the Yankara-Faskari Road, abducting 2 women and their children. Upon receiving the reports, police operatives swiftly mobilized to the scenes, engaging the assailants in severe gunfire. The bandits were forced to flee, leaving behind the kidnapped victims, who were all rescued unhurt. The attackers, Sadiq said, escaped with gunshot wounds, commending the bravery of the officers, and the commissioner of the police reiterated that the command's commitment to tackling crime and ensuring safety of residents in the state is still paramount. Governor Babagana Zulum of Borno State has resettled 424 households affected by the insurgency in the newly constructed 500 housing units in Konduga town. Reports say that the resettled persons were from Towuri, Modu, Amsamiri, Goniri, Maiwari, Lauti Grema, Gombe, Baru, Bowari, Amsuwari, and Furi communities displaced by the Boko Haram insurgents. Reports say that the resettlement houses have public facilities such as schools, a primary health care center, water facilities, and other basic needs. Speaking at the handover of the houses on Sunday in Konduga town, Mr. Zulum said the resettlement marked the beginning of a closure of IDP camps in Konduga local government areas. In addition to the houses, each family received food items, blankets, mats, mattresses, rubber buckets, and wrappers. Similarly, each head of the household received 50,000 naira, while the housewife received 20,000 naira as part of a resettlement package to help them pick up their pieces of their lives where they left off. He reiterated the state government's commitment to resettle all those displaced by insurgency who are still in camps. He said, "We have also ordered blocks worth 100 million naira for the reconstruction of more houses in the Aulari community." He cautioned the beneficiaries against selling the houses allocated to them. Mr. Zulum also urged them to plant trees to fight carbon emissions and desertifications. Do not forget that we are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. You can stay connected with us on our socials, Facebook and YouTube, to watch and continue with us at Atlantic Television Network. On our Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1. On X, formerly known as Twitter, Atlantic TV/net. On our website, it's atlanticnetwork.tv. Commissioner of Police in Adamawa State, CP Dankwabo Morris, has deployed additional operatives to communities across the state in a special exercise to curtail rising crimes in the Ember months. The commissioner ordered the deployment of operatives of the state command drawn from the Special Rapid Response Team, Crack Squad, Anti-Shilla, and Narcotics Squad to carry out a tactical and intelligence-driven 247 rapid raids against all violent crimes. The move is designed as a total clampdown on people breaking the law of the land as the nation moves deeper into the months leading to December, where crimes would typically increase. This is according to a statement released on Monday morning by the State Public Police Relations Officer, Suleiman Ngoroje. It said the CP has equally directed divisional police officers and area commanders to personally lead the operations to their respective areas of responsibility to ensure total domination of the public space, especially at nights. In a different story, CP Olatunji Disu has resumed duties as the new commissioner of the police in the FCT in Abuja. Addressing journalists at the command's headquarters, Olatunji Disu gave a stern warning to troublemakers, saying his tenure will be marked by a zero-tolerance approach to all forms of criminality and crime. He stated that the command will not waver in its commitment to safeguarding the territory, ensuring that law enforcement is both effective and respectful to all citizens. Olatunju listed enhancement of community policing, initiatives, intelligence gathering, technology interrogation, integration of training and development, and public engagement as 5 areas of duty to be prioritized by his administration. He said the command will enhance community policing initiatives to ensure that officers are more visible and accessible, fostering a sense of safety and trust amongst residents. Do not forget that you're watching Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network. We'll be back after the short break. Stay with us.
The people of Maiduguri need your help. A catastrophic flood has engulfed the city, leaving over 1 million residents stranded and fighting for survival. Entire communities are submerged, with people trapped inside homes and on rooftops cut off from food, clean drinking water and essential supplies. Health experts are warning of a potential outbreak of deadly diseases, and medical facilities are out of commission. The situation is dire. Helicopters, boats and high-riding trucks capable of navigating the treacherous, waterlogged areas are urgently required to reach the countless men, women and children still awaiting rescue. The Nigerian media is issuing a desperate plea to the government, humanitarian organizations, international actors and citizens across the nation. Step in now, before it's too late. For more information on how you can help, contact Professor Usman A. Tar, the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Internal Security, Borno State, on 0809-233-3955. Every second counts.
This is powered by Atlantic Television Network.
A warm welcome back to Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) has announced its intention to take enforcement action against Elon Musk satellite internet service, Starlink, following a recent increase in subscription prices in Nigeria that was implemented without regulatory approval. In a statement released on Tuesday, the NCC's Director of Public Affairs, Ruben Moka, disclosed that Starlink has raised its monthly subscription fee by 97%, from 38,000 naira previously to 75,000 naira. The price for Starlink installation kits also saw a hike, increased by 34% to from 590,000 naira to 590,000 naira from a previous 440,000. Starlink informed customers of the changes last week, noting that both current and new users would be affected. However, Nigeria's telecommunications sector regulator, NCC, clarified that it had not sanctioned the adjustments. The decision by Starlink to unilaterally review its subscription package upwards did not receive the approval of the Nigerian Communications Commission. Moka further explained that the Commission was surprised by the move, as Starlink had previously submitted a request for a price adjustment, which the NCC was yet to approve. The action of the company appears to be in contravention of Sections 108 and 111 of the Nigerian Communications Act 2003 and Starlink's license conditions regarding tariffs. Moka added, Section 108 of NCA 2003 and NCC holds the regulatory authority of telecommunications tariffs, mandating that no licensee can impose service charges without securing tariff approval from the Commission. Section 111 of the Act further empowers the NCC to impose financial penalties on licensees that exceed approval rates, underscoring importance for regulatory compliance. Notwithstanding any provision of this Act, the Commission shall prescribe and enforce appropriate financial penalties upon any holder of an individual license that exceeds the tariff rates duly approved by the Commission for the provision of any of its service, the Act stipulates. The NCC has yet to specify the exact penalties Starlink may face, but has emphasized its commitment to maintaining regulatory stability within the Nigerian telecommunications sector. In a different story, Chairman of the EFCC, Olanipekun Olukoyede, says that the Commission is unable to carry out investigations in 10 states in Nigeria as a result of court orders restraining it. Olukoyede disclosed this at the ongoing 6th EFCC NGI Capacity Building Workshop for Justices and Judges held at the Conference Hall of the National Judicial Institute in Abuja. He described the workshop team integrating stakeholders in curbing economic and financial crimes as apt. Although Olukoyede did not disclose the states involved, he however lamented that the EFCC's activities had continued to be impeded by court orders, restraining it from carrying out its investigation. According to him, among the plethora of issues bordering the EFCC are the frequent adjournment of high-profile cases by courts, contempt orders, and undue reliance on technical grounds. He further said a situation where suspects rush to the court to obtain restraining orders against the EFCC from arresting them must be discouraged by the courts. While acknowledging the infallibility of the EFCC, Olukoyede noted that the Commission has taken some steps to reform its processes of investigation in accordance with the provision of the law. Organized labor comprising the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees, Nigerian Union of Teachers, and Nigerian Union of Pensioners has proposed a staff redistribution, placement and audition exercise to ascertain the actual number of local government workers, primary school teachers, and pensioners in all the 774 local government areas nationwide under the Joint Action Committee (JAC) of local government-based unions. They also recommended an embargo on recruitment of new staff into local governments, including teachers, for 1 year from the date of the Supreme Court judgment on direct payment to ensure stability and consideration. These are parts of the recommendations JAC aimed at effective operations of local government during the direct remittance of federal allocation, allowing the recent Supreme Court granting a financial autonomy to local governments. The President of the NUT, Titus Amba, President General of NULGE, Ambali Akim, and President of the NUP, Godwin Abumisi, in 7-point recommendations noted that for a hitch-free takeoff of the direct payment system, JAC recommends that there should be a staff redistribution, placement and auditing exercise to ascertain the actual number of local government workers. Also to ascertain the final number of primary teachers and pensioners. Amongst other recommendations, the JAC equally advocates the structuring of supervisory institutions, controlling and supervising local government workers. These agencies are to be restructured by way of expanding their statutory members to include chairman of local governments, heads of local government-based unions, and other relevant stakeholders for quality control and inclusivity. For the Local Government Service Commission, JAC proposed a statutory membership to include a representative of the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, ALGON, and a representative of NULGE, while for the State Universal Basic Board Education, SUBEB, statutory membership should include a representative of ALGON and representatives of the National Union of Teachers. Similarly, Local Government Staff Pension Board statutory membership should include representative of the ALGON, NUP, NULGE, and the Primary Health Care Agency statutory membership should have representatives of the ALGON, healthcare practitioners from the local governments for workers' welfare and industrial harmony, training and capacity building and sustainability of industrial stability in the local government system. The payment should be made the first line of charge and domiciled at the relevant agencies. Also, JAC proposed the strengthening of the Federal Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs. The supervisory ministry, this is for policy formulation, coordination, implementation, and supervision. To also coordinate reforms in the local government through the quarterly summits to review government's economic policy on local government scheme of service every 5 years to enhance productivity and policy assurance at the local government level. Moving on, Kogi Command of the Nigeria Customs Service has confiscated and handed over 238 grams of cannabis sativa to the Nigerian Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) in Minna in a significant blow to illicit drug trafficking. The estimated duly paid value of the seized cannabis sativa stands at a staggering sum of 5 million naira. The comptroller of the command, Pascal Chibuke, briefed the press on the command's activities over the past 4 weeks. He highlighted the successful seizure and detention of 9 units of vehicles with a cumulative duty paid value of 170 million naira. Chibuke commended his team's resilience and doggedness, assuring the command will continue to reward officers who excel in their duties. While receiving the cannabis sativa on behalf of the NDLEA, the Niger Delta Commander, Shehu Gwadabawa, expressed gratitude to the inter-agency collaboration, stressing the importance of joint efforts in combating illicit activities in the country. Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria has clarified details surrounding a viral video that shows a confrontation between its staff and an individual at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport terminal in Lagos. FAAN, in a statement signed by Ms. Obiageli Ora, Director, Public Relations Officer and Consumer Protection, stated that the individual in question was a cargo agent, not a passenger, and was conducting illegal operations in the airport. Quoting them, she said, she refused to pay the stipulated charges for the cargo and behaved in an unacceptable manner, damaging equipment and straining our resources. FAAN explained in its official statement it denied all wrongdoing by its staff during the incident and said, we would like to clarify that there was no form of molestation by FAAN staff. Neither was there any request for a bribe from our staff during that incident. The statement added, describing the cargo's incident as an act of blackmail. Minister of State of Youth Development Ayodele Olawande has announced the launch of the portal for a distribution of 2,000 compressed natural gas CNG-powered tricycles. Olawande said Nigerian youths could access the portal and apply for youth empowerment initiatives through clean energy across the country. He added that there are 2 websites to access the portal and apply, the first being www.youthcng.ng. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led federal government has launched the portal for youth to register for the distribution of 2,000 compressed natural gas-powered tricycles. The Minister of State for Youth Development said the portal became possible after the federal government successfully launched the 2,000 CNG tricycles on October 1st. Olawande made this known in Abuja on Monday, October 7th, that there were two portals, the first being www.youthcng.ng and www.bci.gov.ng. He said young Nigerians are advised to apply for the Youth Empowerment Initiative through Clean Energy at either of the two websites. The minister said Nigerian youths could access the portals in the country. Olawande added that they could sign up to be merged with aggregators or owners who work directly under the presidential CNG initiative, while beginning the process of becoming owners themselves. He said the aim is to enthrone a transparent process of listing young people into the presidential CNG initiative. Tinubu's administration is working towards actualizing its renewed hope agenda. Authorities appear determined to provide a sustainable and practical option for road users in the country. On Friday, September 27th, previously, the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative announced moves to increase the adoption of CNG as a cleaner, more affordable alternative to fuel. In a different story, federal government has assured and expressed its desire to partner with soybean and sugar project initiatives to revolutionize agriculture for Nigeria's food security. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, disclosed this in Abuja in his office when he met with a delegation from Trans-Sahara Consortium Limited, led by its chairman, Senator Ibrahim Turak, to the consortium's ambitious soybean and sugar projects. The projects designed to boost Nigeria's agro-industry and address the country's trade deficits, aligned with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's strategic objective of food security and strengthening the agricultural sector. According to a statement that was issued by the Finance Ministry, the minister described the Trans-Sahara Consortium's initiative as a game changer for Nigeria's agricultural sector. It said, "We are committed to supporting innovative projects that drive economic growth, promote food security, and empower Nigerian farmers." The projects will involve the cultivation of 3 billion hectares of soybean and establishment of sugarcane processing plants, aiming to produce millions of tons of sugar for domestic consumption and exports. This partnership is a significant step towards realizing our vision for a prosperous Nigeria. We will work closely with Trans-Sahara Consortium Limited to ensure the successful implementation of these projects, he said in a statement. He continues saying, "This initiative marks a significant milestone in our journey towards a prosperous country, even as we look forward to witnessing the tangible impact of this collaboration, fostering economic growth and improving the lives of millions of citizens. Together, we are sowing the seeds of a brighter future for our nation," the statement added. Yaga Africa has said most of the recently held local government elections in the country are a travesty of democratic elections and fall short of electoral integrity standards. Executive Director of Yaga Africa, Samson Itodo, said this in a statement on Monday, that the ruling party or parties supported by governors in power have won virtually all chairmanship and councillorship seats in the elections. In a statement, Itodo said, to harness the benefits of the Supreme Court ruling granting financial autonomy to local governments, it is crucial to extend electoral reforms to local government elections and to liberate SIEC from the stronghold of state governors by safeguarding their operational and financial independence. Yaga Africa has been actively working on local government elections and will continue to issue a comprehensive report at the end of October, a period marked as the super month for local government elections. The report will be based on local government elections index that was recently developed. He said as more states prepare for their upcoming local government elections, it is important for the executive to refrain from interfering with the operations of state independent electoral commissions. We also urge SECs to assert their partial constitutional independence to conduct credible elections, strict adherence to established guidelines to ensure it's essential for ensuring the validity and integrity of local government elections. Itodo concluded. And this is where we wrap it up on this edition of Government and Public Service Reports on your favorite Atlantic TV network on Port Harcourt. I am King David Obasi. Thank you so far for staying with us. Stay connected with us and continue on socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X, formerly known as Twitter, Atlantic TV/net. Watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you so far for staying with us.
The people of Maiduguri need your help. A catastrophic flood has engulfed the city, leaving over 1 million residents stranded and fighting for survival. Entire communities are submerged, with people trapped inside homes and on rooftops, cut off from food, clean drinking water, and essential supplies. Health experts are warning of a potential outbreak of deadly diseases, and medical facilities are out of commission. The situation is dire. Helicopters, boats, and